like for you to take a moment and close your eyes. Imagine the words yoga and yogi. Okay, open your eyes. What did you think of when you thought of those words? Did you think of the people that bend and contort themselves into those freaky postures, or that sit around and go and meditate all day? What if I told you that's not entirely the case? That there's much more to yoga than that, and it can be beneficial to everyone. I have taken yoga for 3 years now and have noted the great benefits and increase to my mental and physical capabilities. I hope by sharing this information with you that you'll be able to understand the great practice of yoga and wipe all the negative stereotypes away. I'm going to be discussing with you the rich history of yoga, the 6 branches of yoga, and why yoga is still popular today. First, I would like to start with the history of yoga. According to the executive director of yogabasics.com, yoga was created in northern India over 5,000 years ago. The Brahmins wrote down their beliefs and practices into 200 scriptures. The scriptures took ritual sacrifice and internalized it. That meant that instead of sacrificing other things, they decided to sacrifice personal ego by self-knowledge and action and wisdom. In the 1800s, yoga masters started going to the West to spread their practice. They mostly focused on only hatha yoga. Yes, that's right, there's many different types of yoga. This brings me to my second point. When people think of yoga, they only think of hatha, which is the physical yoga and the postures, but there is actually many different types. According to Gaia.com, there are 6 branches of yoga. Bhakti yoga focuses on devotion to God and to life. Raja yoga focuses on meditation and self-mastery. Jnana yoga focuses on wisdom and knowledge. Karma focuses on being selfless and doing good deeds. Tantra focuses on expanding awareness in all states, awake and asleep. Hatha is the last but not least. It focuses on bringing the body to perfect health so that the mind can emerge freely. There are many different types of hatha yoga. My favorite is vinyasa yoga, which is the practice of flowing the postures according to the pace of the breath. I'm going to give you an example using sun salutation seat. First, you raise your arms and inhale. Then you breathe out and forward bend. Next, you breathe in and lunge. Next, you breathe out and go into plank. Then you breathe in and do cobra. Then you breathe out into downward dog. Then you breathe back in into a lunge. And you breathe out back into mountain pose. These may look very easy, but they're actually very hard whenever you do many rotations focusing on your perfecting your posture and your breathing. This brings me to my next point, which is why yoga is still around. According to Harvard Health publications, Americans are practicing yoga 50% more in the past 4 years. This is because of the many benefits like increased flexibility and balance and physical fitness. It also helps reduce stress, anxiety, and pain. Even though there's many benefits, there are people who are reluctant to practice yoga because of the bad stereotypes associated, like, for example, if they were women or they need to be flexible or athletic already. In conclusion, I hope that you learn more info about this so that you can ignore the stereotypes. I've discussed with you the history of yoga, the types and purposes, and why it's popular. If you're unsure about yoga still, just know this. It's not about competing with others, but in fact to focus on bettering yourself by focusing on the body and becoming compassionate, aware, and accepting.